This is Hot Mic.
Hot Mic.
On the networks of WDAY.
WDAY.
Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 ready to roll here on this Football Friday. We got NFL picks coming up in about a half hour. Looking forward to that. So we've heard from Breckenridge. We've heard from Moorhead. There is one other team in our viewing area that's playing for a Minnesota State football championship. That's tomorrow morning in the 9-man game at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Hillcrest Lutheran will take on Hills Beaver Creek to start the day inside U.S. Bank Stadium. It's our pleasure to have the head coach of the Comets, Korey Fry, join us here on this Friday morning before they head down to Minneapolis later today. Coach, thanks so much for doing this. Just tell me the mood here of getting ready to go down, and you're playing tomorrow for the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the mood just around the community and within our campus is just pure excitement and joy. We have a lot of people that are thrilled to just be a part of this ride. I was in Walmart the other day and really just needed to grab two things, and it should have took me maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and it turned around to be an hour visit. And all I did was talk with people within the community who was excited about our journey.
This almost didn't happen a couple weeks ago. I have to go back to that quarterfinal game the way you won it. Tell me, just take us through that and how getting a 2-point stop to win the game. I mean, that doesn't happen often.
Yeah, these last couple of weeks have been a true test, and just showing how good our state really is within 9-man football. So that game against Mayville Canton, both teams were rolling offensively. It was one of those days where both teams' defenses were playing tough, playing very physical, but the offense was just a step ahead on both sides. And so the game came down to that last play. Mayville Canton went back to their bread and butter, which we hadn't stopped all day, just on that quarterback keep straight up the middle. They were averaging about 5 to 6 yards each time. But what ended up happening on that play was our nose, Dane Larby, made a phenomenal play, and he was able to get rid of the center and be able to get his hands on the quarterback very quickly. And then we had quite a few guys able to rally around that and make the stop. Yeah, and those are one of those things where you just you only can like dream of situations like that. You definitely don't practice all those moments like that, but when it happens, you need your players to be big time players.
What was your reaction when you saw the play?
It was tough. I went from excited to nervous to all the above. I went jumping for joy with the team, and then I quickly went and sat down just because I needed to gather myself in that moment.
What was, I got to imagine, last thing on that, the bus ride home, what was that like, man? I can't imagine.
Yeah, the guys were ecstatic. Even in the locker room, it was tough getting our guys out. You tell your guys, hey, we got to be here for, 20, 30 minutes, and we got to get out. And next thing you know, guys are still in the locker room talking, jumping for joy, everything. And so, but our guys were really happy, fortunate. The game fell in our hands that way. Because granted, that game could have went another few overtimes, just the way both offenses were going.
Now, that was, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, your real first close game of the season. So then you had another one last week. How much did, I guess, that one, the one over Mayville Canton, get you ready for what happened with Kitson County Central last week?
I guess it was big. I also go back a few more weeks, playing Border West in the Fargo Dome. Yeah. That really taught us a lot. I think Border West has been one of the premier teams, especially in our conference, our section. And we've learned a lot from playing them throughout the years, and it prepped us for being able to play situational football. And then to go play that close game with Mayville Canton the next week, it really helped us. But then it prepared us for games like Kitson County. Kitson was one of those teams where traditionally very run focused. And they did some things in that game that really surprised us as far as how they passed it and what they were trying to do out of that. But it was one of those games where I think we were very prepared from the 2 weeks prior, just from preparation and knowing what we were going to get into.
I was talking with a couple of the coaches of teams that played down there last week at US Bank Stadium. How hot was it? And did the dome get you ready for what you experienced last week at US Bank Stadium?
Yeah, it is definitely different, especially right now when you're practicing outside
Right.
in 30-degree weather, and then you turn around and you're playing in a controlled environment at 60, 70 degrees. It is definitely different. And so we talk to our guys a lot about hydration, making sure they're taking care of their bodies through the week. So that way, come Thursday nights or Friday nights, and in this case, Saturday morning, we're ready to go right away. And that's huge. Hydration is key, especially when you get in these types of atmosphere.
All right, the team you're playing, Hills Beaver Creek, has been one of the 9-man standard bearers. They were runner-up last year. They have that experience. What kind of buzzsaw are you running into here tomorrow?
Very good team, very well coached. They will give you a lot of motion, what we call as coaches a lot of eye candy to try to get you thinking and looking in different directions. And the biggest thing is, it's easy for me to say it here, talking to you on the show. We have to try to limit their big plays and force them to have to try to slow grind it out and different things. And we hope to be able to keep them packed in the box, and hopefully we can take advantage of that.
Playing the first game out of the chute, you're not sitting around waiting tomorrow. Describe, would you rather have that, or would you rather have a little bit of time before you get out there and go?
It's different both ways. Playing in the Fargo Dome, we were the first game of the day there. It was really nice to be able to have the guys get out and walk on the field and move around. But then when you think about it, you're sitting there for an hour and a half, 2 hours waiting for the game. And then this last week playing at US Bank, we were the second to last game, and then you're kind of watching all the other games and you're itching to just be out there. And then it's the time you go to the locker room, you change, and then you're on the field ready to go. So I think when you get to this point, it's just basically managing time correctly and being able to get out there.
Now, for your guys, did you, or even yourself, did you have a little looking around? Did you do that last week? Did you notice that at all?
Yeah, a lot of our guys was really happy that we actually had that time to just tour the stadium and see a lot of different things. I think what really got our team was when we were at the loading dock and you see all these semis coming in, and none of them are your bus with your equipment. It's all equipment and supplies coming in for the Vikings-Bears game. That was Sunday night. So yeah, and it's different. So but it was a moment that we were able to take in and enjoy.
Now to have this again tomorrow, how special is this for you to say, okay, there's no more games. You had your last practice yesterday. We've taken this as far as we can go. Yeah,
and that was one of the messages that we sent out. We told our seniors, and I don't even know if it really hit our seniors, saying, hey, this truly is the last time you will step foot on this field in these comic colors. And so a lot of our guys did get emotional about it. Some of them sat around after practice a little bit just to kind of take in the sights and different things. And that's a special moment, when you're around the game of football so long and different things. Nothing quite matches Friday Night Lights. Even if you go on and play at higher levels and different things, like when you're playing at a home field like that in high school, it's just a different feeling. So we wanted our guys to really take it in and embrace it.
You have a couple members of your staff that were on the last Hillcrest team that won it in 2001. How big a deal is that for these guys that are now living this and with your current team?
Yeah, Coach J.P. Stender and Coach Steve Moline, Both were on that 2001 team. They talk about it a lot. It's one of those things that they're very prideful about, and just talking about the process that they were able to go through with their team. They talk about how passionate Coach Risbrut was at that time, and just leading them not only in faith but just leading them in like manhood. And all those things that they learned through that process of a state title team. And those are qualities that still to this day that we put into our program.
How much you feeding off the vibes here? Breckenridge is right down the road from you guys. There's a ton of Spuds fans that, hey, we can all be together here and try to do something for the area.
Yeah, well, it would be nice if we all could go in together on bus fees and travel. No, I think it's really, really great. I was asked that question a couple of days ago. I think it's just shows the quality of coaches that are within this the western part of the state, or West Central, whichever way you want to call it. But I think we all are true students of the game, and really are able to teach our young men what development looks like, what trusting in the philosophy and programs truly are. I think it's truly remarkable seeing what Breck has done, seeing what Moorhead has done. Barnesville even had a really good ride. Fergus here in town, they made it to the state quarterfinals. So football in this area is at its peak right now. Like it is a fun time to be around this area for high school football.
Couple minutes left here with Korey. You mentioned the story about you going to Walmart. What has the buzz been like? Has it been steadily building, the last 3 weeks with you guys winning each week?
Yeah. It's one of those things where everybody wants to be a part of the ride. And that's a good thing. There's nothing like having fans support you, having people stop you and talk about when they were in high school 20, 30, 40 years ago, and the different things. I enjoy those things because I look at it as history lessons that we can bring within our program and tell our players about, so they understand what they're doing. Doesn't come too often for some programs. And for them to just take it in.
Last thing, I know we were talking before we came on the air about the send-off. What's the grand send-off plan for you guys later today?
Yeah, so it's really fun. Usually all the moms, they do like a little skit where they act out each of their son's position and play. So
no kidding.
It's pretty funny. But then they also create little gift bags for all the players, coaches, and everything. And then we do like a small pep rally, and then we take off, which is really nice. It allows us to really see everybody excited about our journey. Police and fire department are usually in on it too, so it's nice having that escort back into town and then out of town as well.
Is this a restless night of sleep, or you think you'll sleep well tonight?
Usually I struggle to get to sleep the nights before. I usually take a walk down the road or something, or I usually is whatever's on Sports Center I kind of watch and try to doze off to that. Yeah. But I am very sure tonight will be a tough night to fall asleep.
I really appreciate you doing this on a busy day. Thanks so much. Travel safe and good luck tomorrow morning, okay?
Yep, I appreciate it.
Korey Fry joining us, head coach of Hillcrest Lutheran. The Comets play tomorrow in the 9-man championship game inside U.S. Bank Stadium, 10 a.m. for that one against Hills Beaver Creek. They were the runners-up last year in Minnesota 9-man, and that will be the first of 3 games tomorrow. Of course, the first of 4 is underway. When we come back, we'll get you an update on the Breckenridge game with Minneota. That's just getting underway for the Class A championship, the first of 4 inside U.S. Bank Stadium. We'll take a break. Hot Mic rolls on our Football Friday edition. We're back right after this.